Have you guys ever had a horrible job interview experience? Like maybe you were the one doing the interview and hiring people, or you were the one trying to get a job? We're checking out some of those today. I interviewed for a hostess position at a top restaurant in Manhattan. The chef was very well known and had several restaurants across the world. He was conducting the interview himself. I'd be so nervous, which I found unusual, but went along with it. The first thing he did was tell me to let down my hair from its bun because presentation is everything and I'd be the face of the restaurant. Well, you can see my face better when my hair's back, but okay. Then he asked me to show him my yabos, my boobies. What? WTF? When I just stared at him, wondering if I'd really heard him correctly. Say that again. He doubled down by repeating that presentation is everything, and he wants all his girls to be beautiful and hot. Gross. Gross. Girl, you gotta drop the name. Drop the name of this hot shot of this hot shot Manhattan chef, okay? Spill the tea because we gotta put him out there on blast for doing this. The universe cannot test me like that because I will be damned if you think I'm gonna just be like, have a great day, I no longer want. I have words. Many words, and I would not be afraid to use them. When I was maybe 20, I applied for a bartending job. The job interview went pretty well until the owner of the bar asked if I had a boyfriend. Red flag. I was so confused as to why this would be an issue. As a gay woman, I tend to feel unsafe in situations regarding my sexuality, especially in a basement of a bar. So I said yes. That's understandable. The owner then asked me more invasive questions, like when was the last time I had intimacy? What kind of intimacy did I like? And how old I was when I lost my virginity? Ew! And all this is happening in a basement? Oh my God, that is a horror movie. I tried to leave, but the owner stood between me and the only exit. He didn't let me leave until I told him I'd call the police. After this, I have always recorded my job interviews. I have thankfully never had an issue like this again, and every interview since, I've always interviewed in an open area. That's terrifying. So terrifying. I'm so glad you're safe and you did all the precautions you could have in the moment to protect yourself. That's a very good learning lesson, everyone. Interview. Open spaces. I've worked at bars before and that is so true. It's always in the basement of the bar because that's where like the staff room is or the office, and it's like, I'm telling you, I worked at some sketchy bars and it's always in the freaking basement. I had an interview where the dude was literally like, quote, "We said $30 on the posting because that's what we used to pay, but we've realized that with the economy as it is, we can get great applicants anyway. So we're only paying $15. If you don't take it, someone else will, but you can work up to the normal wage in 5 years or so if the economy improves." Yeah, no. Okay, great. Well, if someone else will take it from me, then it's all theirs. It's all theirs. Minimum wage is higher than that now. I don't know when this was written though. So I was interviewing a 22 or 23-year-old student for an internship. He not only showed up with his mother, but also wanted to be accompanied by her during the interview. Why? I would rather not get an interview than go to the interview with my mother. I love Moo. It's not her personally. I just mean the fact of like showing up to the interview and being like, "Hi, this is my mom. She's gonna sit in with us today." Like, that would be a red flag for anybody. Why? What does she do? Just sit there? She just sits there quietly and just the whole time? Or is she piping in and making little comments? Because that, oh my God, that's a whole other story. This reminds me of Step Brothers. The movie, when they're trying to get a job. The scene of all like their terrible interviews because they're grown adults but they act like children. Oh my God, I need to watch that movie. Lip oil, don't mind me. I had an interview during which the job's hours were revealed to me and they were all over the place. 10 to 2 on Monday, 1 to 4 on Tuesday, 4 to 9 on Wednesday, etc. I told the interviewer that the job wasn't for me and she started crying. How uncomfortable. She told me tearfully that she and her team were so impressed with my CV and that they'd been trying to fill the job for months. I awkwardly thanked her for her time as she tearfully led me out of the building. Oh my God, that would be so uncomfortable and so awkward. And you'd feel bad, a part of you, because like there's a woman crying because they really need to fill this job, but it's like, well, it's no wonder it's not getting filled. The hours suck. That would be hard for anyone to work around with a life going on outside of these hours. I don't like when people cry, especially in that, like a stranger. It's like, I'm so sorry, but I'm still not taking the job. I had a really traumatic interview where okay, let me start over. I don't know why I was like singing that at first. I had a very traumatic interview where they were asking me about my relationship status, when I plan to get married, when I plan to have kids, but you're 30, so I imagine soon. How I will manage work and home when this happens. It was awkward and terrible, especially coming from a woman interviewer who had family of her own. Y'all are doing too much in these interviews. You're getting way too personal. None of your business. Don't be nosy. How about we cross that bridge when we get there? And life is way too unpredictable. Let's also be honest. Like, when you can plan to have kids and get married by this time, but really, you know, life laughs at our plans most of the times. I'm 31 next week. Y'all, I was like, I'm gonna be here in life. I'm gonna be married. I'm gonna have this many kids. I'm having, what a joke. What a joke. I ain't even engaged, y'all, okay? So we can have all the plans we want. Ma'am, madam, interviewing me, I have no answer for you because anything can happen. That's what I'd say. I'd be like, well, anything can happen. I was interviewing with a manager for the role of flight attendant at an airline. 5 minutes into the interview, I felt my phone vibrate in my pocket. I checked it as soon as I left the interview. An hour later, oh my God, that's a long interview, and realized it was a rejection email from one of the company's recruiters. What? I called them to see if it was a mistake. It wasn't. They had actually rejected me. I asked them why he had the interview in the first place. They couldn't say. So wait, you're sitting there during your interview, your phone vibrates and you feel it and you're like, oh, obviously I'm gonna get it later. You check, and during your interview, they had notified you that you've been rejected, but you still completed and went on with the interview. Why even waste your own time at that point as the company and the recruiters? Like, you might as well say, hey, you know what? We're about to show you a text that this ain't it. This isn't gonna work. So just save yourself the next 45 minutes and respectfully be on your way. I had an interview at a job that didn't have an address. They proceeded to give me very complicated instructions, like turn left when you see the green building. I got lost multiple times getting there and ended up being an hour late. During the interview, I asked how they got mail delivered, and they said they didn't receive mail. When I walked out of the building after the obviously failed interview, I looked around and found their business number on the side of the building behind some bushes. I still wonder to this day if I failed some strange interview test. Yeah, like, was that a social experiment? Like, what do you mean you don't? I wouldn't even go to that interview. That's the minute they say we don't have an address and give me those sketchy directions, like, I'm already thinking true crime documentary, and I would be a fool to actually turn left at the green building. You know what I mean? No, maybe having trust issues will be in my favor one day. In 1990, oh my God, I wasn't even born. I had an interview with a natural cosmetics store. I was well groomed and clean, but never got the interview. The manager refused and threw me out of the shop for having acne. She said, we don't have people with spots working here. Staff here look clean. Isn't that lovely? That's so lovely. Wouldn't people love to see real skin? Because acne is real and it's very common, and it doesn't make you any less beautiful. It doesn't make you dirty if you're saying you can't have acne to look clean. Ugh, that is so rude. So rude. I've had people make very rude comments about my acne back in the day. I had very bad acne. I had an old male agent, and he was a total, I can't say the word that I want to say, so rude about it. I had photographers that I work with make comments. One called me a plus size model at one point. Pretty sure I was thinner than I am now, so guess I'm extra plus size as a model. Not that I was a model anyway, but he said that I would be a model. Anyways, that just made me think of all these weird, gross comments from people. And that is one of them. I was once asked how much I weigh. That's terrible. Like, the only way it would be acceptable is if the job requirement, I don't know what job on earth would need to know your weight. Like, I'm trying to think, I'm like, is there a position out there in this world where where a company would genuinely need to know your weight? Like for safety precaution or something like that, but like in an interview, how much do you weigh? This is gross behavior, guys. This is really gross behavior. You shouldn't ask anybody what they weigh. It's just a number. Why does it matter? I hate that about casting. All my acting auditions, you gotta let them know your weight every time. Why does that matter? Because we have to send full body shots. You can see what I look like. Why does the number matter? Anyways, all right, y'all. If you have had a horrible job interview experience, please tell me in the comments. I need to read them. On that note, though, I'm out of here. Stay classy out there. Stay sassy, and I'll see you tomorrow.